A single dad was driving home after a long and exhausting day, his mind filled with everyday worries about work, bills, and raising his child alone. The road ahead was mostly empty, the evening quiet and still, until something unusual caught his eye. Walking slowly along the roadside was a young woman dressed in a white wedding gown, her veil slightly torn, her hair messy, and her feet completely bare against the rough pavement. The sight was so unexpected that he almost drove past. But something in her expression made him hit the brakes. She didn't look drunk or confused. She looked heartbroken and determined at the same time. Her steps were painful but purposeful, as if she had chosen this difficult path over something even worse behind her. Concerned for her safety, the single dad pulled over and stepped out, gently asking if she was okay and whether she needed help. At first she hesitated, clearly unsure if she could trust a stranger. Her eyes were filled with fear, exhaustion, and emotion, as if she had been holding herself together for far too long. He offered her water and his jacket, noticing small cuts on her feet from walking barefoot. The moment was surreal. A bride, with no groom, no car, no guests, just silence and a long road. Instinctively, his protective nature as a father took over. He knew he couldn't just leave her there. What began as a simple act of concern quickly turned into a moment that would open the door to a powerful and unforgettable story. As they walked slowly toward his car, the girl finally began to open up, her voice trembling but steady enough to be heard. She explained that she had been living under immense pressure from her family and fiancé to go through with a wedding she didn't want. Outwardly, it looked like a perfect celebration, but behind closed doors, she had felt trapped in a relationship that ignored her dreams and silenced her voice. The weight of years of doubt and fear had finally become unbearable, and she realized she couldn't sacrifice her own happiness for appearances. Her story was raw and heartbreaking. She described the panic and confusion she felt that morning as she got ready for the wedding, the polite smiles hiding a storm of anxiety, the whispered doubts that no one around her seemed to notice. With tears in her eyes, she recounted the moment she made the bold decision to leave. She had slipped out quietly, barefoot, carrying nothing but her courage, refusing to let fear or societal expectations dictate her life. Every step she had taken down that road had been filled with a mix of terror and liberation, a physical manifestation of her emotional struggle. The single dad listened in stunned silence, deeply moved by her honesty and bravery. Here was a young woman who had faced an impossible choice: follow a life she didn't want, or risk judgment and uncertainty to follow her own path. She wasn't running away. She was choosing herself for the first time. Her words were powerful, filled with a mix of pain, resilience, and hope, and they resonated with him on a personal level. He could feel the magnitude of her courage, and in that moment, he realized that life-changing decisions often come wrapped in fear, but the strength to act defines who we truly are. Hearing her story, the single dad felt a wave of emotion wash over him: empathy, awe, and an unexpected sense of inspiration. He had spent years protecting his heart, cautious about love after his own painful experiences, and juggling the responsibilities of being a single parent. But in her honesty and courage, he saw something he hadn't realized he was missing: the raw power of authenticity and the courage to embrace life despite fear. Her decision to choose herself over societal expectations challenged everything he had thought about love, relationships, and the limits we place on ourselves. He realized that life often presents moments where fear and courage collide, and that sometimes the smallest acts of bravery, like leaving a wedding, walking barefoot down a road, can have the largest impact. Watching her vulnerability and strength intertwined, he understood that love isn't just about romance. It's about trust, respect, and the willingness to take risks for what truly matters. Her story reminded him that second chances aren't just for fairy tales. They are real, they are possible, and they can come at the most unexpected moments. By the time they reached his car, something had shifted inside him. He felt a renewed sense of hope, not only for the possibility of love, but for his own personal growth. He knew that he wanted to live more openly, to trust more fully, and to embrace opportunities without letting fear hold him back. Her courage sparked a reflection on his own life, the choices he had avoided, the risks he hadn't taken, and the love he had been too careful to pursue. In a moment of quiet connection, he realized that meeting her was not a coincidence. Her words had not only changed the course of her own life, but it also ignited a transformation within him. That evening, what began as a chance encounter became the catalyst for a deeper understanding of love, resilience, and the life-changing power of human connection.